What's up guys, it's Kelly, and today, if you can't tell by my voice and my general appearance, I am sick. I have a really bad cold today, and instead of staying in bed trying to get better, I thought now would be a really great time to show you guys a truly authentic video on how to do your makeup when you're sick. So obviously, like, when you are sick, the best thing to do would be to stay in bed and not wear any makeup and get lots of fluids and get lots of rest, but we don't always have the luxury of doing that, and a lot of times you have a cold, you gotta go to work, or you gotta take care of the kids, or you gotta go to a meeting and all this stuff. So what I wanted to do was just show you guys some of my tips for making yourself look less sick, just so that it's a little bit easier to get through the day, and so that people aren't constantly coming up to you and being like, are you sick? You look terrible. Because that's like my least favorite thing. Alright, so if you are interested in that, then just keep on watching. And like I said, I am actually super sick, so if my voice sounds crazy or if you just see me sniffling and stuff, like, I'm sorry, but I did think that this was, you know, this is a silver lining to being sick. Now I get to show you guys what to do. And also I have my water here, so I'm going to be constantly hydrating throughout this video because I want to get better. I guess we may as well just get started. So it's always harder to tell on camera, especially I got the studio lights and everything, so everything's a little bit diffused. But my biggest problems that I'm suffering with right now is my skin is just really dry and sallow right now. I've got some puffiness underneath my eyes. My nose is super red, especially on this side. Under my eyes also is pretty like chapped, just from my eyes are running a lot. Yeah, I'm a little puffy too. So we're gonna do what we can to fix all of those things and just trick people into thinking we're not sick. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna do, well, the first thing you should do is wash your face, because especially if you just woke up, you probably got crusty stuff all over your face and you're drooling and looking gross and sniffling and your eyes are crusty. So wash your face first. I already did that. Second thing that you want to do is just really intensively moisturize, because your skin gets so dry when you're sick. Just using your regular moisturizer probably isn't gonna cut it. So we're just gonna take extra steps. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put on 2 different serums and then a moisturizer over that. So I'm going to explain to you why. The first serum that I'm going to use is an intensive hydrating serum. This particular one is from Innisfree. So I'm going to put this all over, pat that into the skin so that I get a little bit of hydration, so that I'm looking a little bit less dry. And this is just going to help with all that crustiness, especially like around my nose and around my lips. I already feel so much better. So one thing that I actually learned is that you can layer serums, which is something I have been fully taking advantage of while I've been sick. I'm going to do that. I'm going to give it a second to sort of absorb into my skin, and then I'm going to use the second serum. You can just do a second layer of your serum if you want, but I want to do like more to my skin. So I'm also going to be using just like a brightening serum. This particular one is the Rosé All Day serum from Physicians Formula, and the cool thing about this one is that it actually has like a little bit of like glowy stuff in it. So I always find that like I look a little sallow and like purple when I'm sick, so I thought that this would be a really good way to kind of counteract that, because it kind of has like a soft little glow, and I feel like it just will make me look less sickly. So I don't know if you can tell, but it kind of has like a little bit of like a rosy pearlized glow to it. I feel like this is going to be my worst tutorial ever because I look so bad, but hopefully by the end of it I'll look better. Yeah, so I can see how that's already significantly brightened my face, and it just makes me look less dull. And also I just feel like hydrating feels so good when you're sick, because your skin is just like, yes, give me all the hydration. Honestly, would probably go in with a third layer, but just for the sake of this video I'm not going to. But also I'm going to moisturize the inside real quick. Moving on, once that sort of settles into my skin, I want to moisturize, and I'm going to use like a really thick moisturizer instead of what I would normally use, which is I've never filmed while being this sick before. Yeah, so I'm going to use a moisturizer. I'm going to use a really thick one. This one is the CEO moisturizer from Sunday Riley. It's like a really, really thick formula. You can pretty much use whatever thick moisturizer you have, obviously. All the products that I'm using, like, I'm just using what I have. You can use what you have. Because this is so moisturizing, it'll help out my super dry and chapped skin. I'm really focusing on those areas that are like really chapped and like crusty. Like my nose right now is so crusty from blowing it, and like underneath my eyes I'm actually going to use another cream. So I think when you're sick, the skincare part is the most important, like more important than the coverage. because you really want to heal your skin. So that's what I'm really focusing on. Like, I know it seems like I have so many layers, but we're not even going to do foundation, so don't worry about all the layers. So I'm also going to use a depuffing under eye cream because I don't know about you guys, but I get terrible bags under my eyes when I am sick. And I also, this eye specifically, like this whole side of my face is just so congested, so this eye specifically has been watering all night, and I keep wiping it like with my sleeve, and it's just gotten like so chapped. So I'm just gonna take some under eye cream. I'm using the one, the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. I don't know about you guys, but when I look better, I already start to feel a little bit better. But as soon as I start talking, I think people are gonna know. I'm also, my lips get really chapped and they feel kind of gross right now, so I'm just gonna put on some chapstick. Where's my chapstick? Oh, this one smells so good. If your lips are really, really crusty, one thing that I sometimes like to do is just make myself like a really quick little sugar scrub. So I'll mix together a tiny bit of honey with some sugar and then just like rub it on my lips to exfoliate them and get some of that dry stuff off, and then just wipe it off, and it's delicious. So you can just kind of lick your lips. And also honey when you're sick is really good for you, so also pour some of that into your tea. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm probably gonna zoom, I think I'm gonna zoom you guys in and show you guys what I'm doing on my eyes, and then just the rest of my face. I'm gonna do my brows first because I always do. There's nothing really that you can do to your brows specifically to make you look less sick, so I'm just gonna fill them in as normally. I didn't even do much, I just literally just filled in. Okay, so now I'm gonna work on my eyes. Just out of habit, I always do my eye makeup first, just on the top, and then I do my face makeup, and then I do the bottom. There's not really going to be any fallout with what we're doing today, but I'm just going to do it that way anyway because that's just my normal way. Even if you usually just use a primer, I would really suggest, sorry, my eye's watering a little bit, I would really suggest using full coverage concealer as your primer, just because when you're sick you're going to get a little bit of discoloration on your eyelids. Oh, and also make sure you get in this little area here because that always goes blue for me when I'm sick. And then I'm just going to blend that in. Don't worry about making everything perfect because obviously you are sick, but you want to just do your best. And then I'm going to also set my eyes with just some powder, just so that the eyeshadow isn't sticking. It's also good to do the under eyes last because if you're like me and your eyes are watering a lot, you don't have to worry about them until the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use really warm, toned, neutral makeup. I'm not going to do anything colorful because I don't want to go crazy and look sicker than I am, and I want to do really warm tones because I tend to get, like I said, a little bit pale and a little bit just like gray looking when I'm sick. So I want to do really warm things to make me still look flushed and alive and stuff. I'm going to use this little palette from Pixie, and I'm just going to use these nice warm browns. And if you guys have watched my my makeup 101 video, I do have just like my basic how I put my makeup on, and you can kind of just watch that. For what I'm gonna do, I'm basically just taking the lightest warm brown shade, I'm just working that into my outer corner and my crease, and then I'm gonna build that up. I actually don't want to go too dark because we want to focus on brightening our eyes and making them look more awake. I don't know about you, my lids get a little bit swollen when I'm sick, so I like to just keep it brighter than usual. I usually go pretty heavy slash dark on the eye makeup. So yeah, this probably on camera is not going to look like enough makeup, but just keep in mind that like obviously like on camera it looks like you're wearing a lot less than you are. I'm gonna take this really light shimmery shade and I'm gonna put this on my lid and in my inner corner just to brighten everything up. I really want to use a very light, very bright color, and I think that brightens my eyes a lot. I usually just use my finger for shimmers, but you can use whatever. I'm gonna go in with the next darkest color as well, just to kind of give my crease more definition. I think I might go in with this darker color too, just so that you guys can just see a little bit more of that crease definition on camera, even though in real life I would probably not go in with a darker shade. I've been wiping my nose a lot, so I'm probably just gonna take a little bit more of that cream and I'm just gonna put it on my nose before I move on to the next step. I'm not gonna put foundation on my skin because number one, it's just really heavy and I want my skin to be able to breathe, and two, I know I'm gonna be wiping my nose and eyes a lot and I don't want there to be like a really stark difference with the color of my like skin underneath, which the foundation would inevitably get wiped off if I keep wiping. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take like a fairly lightweight, like not too creamy concealer, and I'm just gonna focus on my under eyes, and then I'm also gonna hit some of those areas areas that are a little bit pinker and just use this instead of foundation to cover up my skin. I just think it's going to brighten it up a little bit. Obviously, you know, you don't want to go too heavy, but I just want to cover up like all the red / unevenness on my skin, and I just don't want to go in with like a heavyweight foundation. I have a ton of freckles, so you're going to be able to see those freckles when I just use concealer, but for me, I actually don't wear foundation to work anyway, so all this is going to do is just going to remove all that discoloration from my skin and kind of just look like I'm wearing nothing, but covering up like all that redness and splotchiness and sort of evening out my skin tone and making it look just a little bit nicer. I want to set my under eyes, especially because I do get those under eye bags. Set that with a powder. Just set the areas that get creased. Just really lightly with just whatever else is on my brush from when I just set my under eyes. Okay, so normally the next step for me would be to contour, but I'm not going to do that when I'm sick because of two reasons. Number one, I just don't want to have anything darkening my face. I'm really trying to focus on brightening everything. And two, I also don't want any cool tones on my face because, like I said, I'm really trying to bring warmth and lightness to my face. So I'm going to just do all the brightening stuff without doing any of like the chiseling. I'm a little puffy when I'm sick, like I get a little bit puffy when I'm sick, but I don't want to bring any of that darkness or cool tones to my face. So I'm just going to skip that, and I'm going to do just like the blush and the highlight part. I'm going to take a really warm toned blush. This is the Coral Kaboom from Carity, and I'm just going to use this nice peachy kind of blush here, and it also has a little bit of shimmer in it, which is good because I just need something to brighten up my face. When I'm sick, I actually kind of overdo it on the blush because I'm so pale that I just like need to bring as much warmth to my face as possible. And I also bring it up a little bit, like up here. You just need to blend that out. I'm just going to take that same brush and blend out, refresh my lip balm because I see my lips are already getting a little bit more chapped again. Now we're looking a little bit more alive. I've got some color on my face. The next thing I'm going to do is highlight. This is the MAC Hyper Real Glow. I'm just going to take the warmest tone in here, and I'm just going to lightly, I'm not going to go crazy with the highlight, I'm just going to really lightly pat that into my cheekbone here. And then another thing I like to do is take a little bit with my finger and just put that in the inner corner just to make it look like my eyes are a little bit more open. I also just realized that I forgot to do primer, so make sure you do like a nice moisturizing primer too. I'm very annoyed at myself. So then I'm gonna go back with my eyeshadow and I'm gonna finish up my under eye. So normally I would really smoke out the under eye area and just like make it nice and dark and sultry and stuff because that's just how I do it. But I don't want to do that today because I don't want to have anything to highlight those under eye circles that I have. So I'm just gonna take the lightest brown and I'm just gonna sort of softly bring that look together, but I don't want to go too hard. I want to keep it as light and subtle as possible so that I'm not drawing attention to those under eye bags because my eyes are inevitably going to water. I don't want to ruin my whole eye look with it. So generally the next step for me would be to do my eyeliner and to tight line my eyes with a black pencil liner. I'm going to skip both of those. Again, we just don't want to darken the eyes or do anything to make them look smaller, but I also can't do a wing because I know my eyes are going to be watering all day. I'm going to be sneezing a lot and I'm going to very easily ruin that. I'm just going to skip all of that completely. I'm not even going to tight line my eyes because again, I just want them to look as bright and open as possible. So I'm just going to go in with mascara and I'm just going to sort of wiggle that, make my lashes curl upwards so that I look more awake and alive. Definitely make sure that you're going with one that is a little bit waterproof because if you're going to be sneezing and watering a lot, you don't want mascara running down your face. Obviously this is for like real life dire situations and not like for going out and partying. So I'm not going to be putting on fake lashes even though I generally do in my videos. And then I'm going to do a really light coat on my under eyes as well. Even though, like I said, I'm probably going to be watering a lot. Just make sure you bring your mascara with you. If you wipe any of it off, you can always just reapply it. So the last step is going to be my lips. The best thing that you can do is pretty much just not put anything on your lips and just keep on using chapstick. But if you have a tinted lip balm, that would also be really great. If you don't have either of those, which for whatever reason, I don't have a tinted lip balm, but I'm just gonna go in with a really glossy lip gloss and I'm just gonna do it really lightly on my lips just to make them look hydrated. Just wanna really lightly go in, keep my lips looking moist even though they don't feel moist. Alright, so that's it for this video. Obviously, this isn't the normal amount of makeup that I wear on my channel, so I might still look a little bit weird to you guys, but this is actually pretty close to how I look when I'm not filming videos. So hopefully you guys found these tips helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any other helpful tips on how to make yourself look a little bit less sick if you have to go somewhere. And like I said, I've got everything that I used in the description, but you can pretty much just use what you have. As with any makeup or nail polish tutorial, you can just use what you have that also works. Yeah, just keep that in mind always. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and let me know if you're interested in other stuff like this. I did recently start my Makeup 101 series, and I have a lot of fun video ideas for it, for just super simple stuff like this, like not like Instagram makeup, like we're just going like real life makeup. Alright, that's it, so I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! Alright, fun fact, obviously I got a new background for my makeup videos, so if you guys like it, let me know. I usually just sit in front of my desk and you can just see my messy room in the background, but I thought it might be nice to just have like a nice subtle gray background color, so yeah. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.